Hi dear friends, welcome back to Cars and Bikes by SHK. I am Sharath Kumar with you. New Hyundai Verna review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Midsize sedans have had a bit of a renaissance lately, with changes that run deeper than your average facelift or new model generation. Apart from the usual battering from SUVs, there is also the case of the higher executive sedan segment having just gone extinct. Mid-size sedans, then, have had to step up in size, spec, power, tech, premium feel and, yes, price too. In fact, Hyundai calls its all-new Verna a mid-large sedan, based not only on their larger size, but their larger prices too. Shock and awe. Built on a new platform with a radical new design, the new Verna leads the way for future Hyundais. Its defining feature is a slim LED light bar across the nose, which is the brand's new sedan signature, with the headlights split off and relegated lower down in the form of non-projector LEDs and halogen indicators. The smooth, fluidic lines have been chopped up into sharply intersecting angles as part of the new parametric dynamics design dialect. And you can see this in the doors and fenders, as well as in smaller motifs on the C-pillar and bumpers. It's most evident in the grille that now stretches edge to edge and has sharp slashes instead of a conventional mesh. The rear is bolder too, with sharp edges, a lip spoiler and a full-width LED light bar culminating in vertical LED DRLs. But, like at the front, the indicators are not a part of this sleek array and instead are halogen bulbs that feel tacked on in their own separate enclosure. At the sides, it still uses 16-inch wheels, as is the segment standard. But these look noticeably smaller owing to the car's larger dimensions, 95 mm longer, 36 mm wider, and with a 70 mm longer wheelbase. The look is striking and instantly recognizable, but there is no doubt it's divisive. There is so many elements that it can look over-styled in places. If you can look past the details, however, you'll find a nicely proportioned sedan underneath. There are muscular rear haunches, and the roof flows down in an almost fastback-like way, helping disguise the added bulk. And that means more than just interior space. There is now a class-leading 528-liter boot. Future launch. The last Verna, launched in 2017, had a rear seat that was noticeably less spacious than its key rivals, the Chiaz and Gen 4 City. This was the first thing to be addressed with the new Verna, and it shows. Space is now vast, and at least on par, if not more than rivals. You also don't sit as low down as before, another old Verna bugbear, and this not only aids ingress and egress, but gives you a much better view forward. And they have managed this while retaining good headroom, and with no increase in the exterior height of the vehicle. Up front, a minimalist, horizontal layout replaces the generic V-shape of before. The shelf-like dashboard has full-width AC vents with brushed silver accents, and an LED ambient light bar that extends onto the doors. The freestanding dual 10.25-inch infotainment and instruments screens are an upmarket touch similar to the Ioniq 5. The touch screen is angled towards the driver, as is the central console below it, although the dials are still more a backlit panel than a proper color screen. The two-spoke steering wheel looks futuristic. Its metallic switches feel upmarket, and it's adjustable for rake and reach. There is a slim panel on the dash that alternates between AC and infotainment controls at the press of a button. and it's incredibly effective in practice. It has two physical knobs, which are easy to use while driving. And though some functions are on a touch panel, that's still better than going into a submenu and the touchscreen. Quality, as per most Hyundais, is very good, with generous soft touch material on the dash and good plastics all around. There is no huge swathes of flat, dull plastic, and even the hard plastic panels in the door cards have been textured to look like leather. 1.5 MPI models get a cream and black interior, which looks airy and upmarket, but could stain easily. 1.5 turbo variants have a black interior with red accents, which looks nice and sporty. Gizmos galore. It wouldn't be Hyundai without some class-best features. And while rivals have caught up, the Korean brand still has a few tricks up its sleeve. These include the dual-purpose control panel, the freestanding dual-screen setup, heated and ventilated front seats, as well as semi-power adjustment. Height adjust is manual for the driver's seat. Other features of note are drive modes, a great-sounding 8-speaker Bose sound system, wireless charging, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, connected car tech, auto headlamps, auto engine stop or start, a sunroof and keyless entry and go. The safety suite is strong too, with 6 airbags across the range, ESC, TCS, TPMS, Hill Start Assist, seatbelt reminders for all seats, front and rear parking sensors, rear disc brakes and an electronic parking brake, the last two only on the turbo DCT. The Honda City may have just beaten Hyundai to the punch for offering ADAS in this segment, but the Verna has a small advantage. In addition to the camera array, the Verna also has front and rear radar modules, albeit only on the turbo DCT, that let the system function better in low visibility conditions and allow for adaptive cruise control and front vehicle departure warning. Powerhouse. With the new Verna, diesel is officially dead in the midsize sedan segment. What you get instead are two petrol engines, the 1.5-liter MPI, naturally aspirated petrol engine, with a 6-speed MT or 8-step VT, or a 1.5-liter direct injection turbo petrol, with a 6-speed MT or 7-speed dual-clutch auto. The 115 horsepower MPI is familiar by now, having appeared in the previous Verna and the Creta. It's refined, with an even spread of power and performance that feels ample for the city and adequate out on the highway. However, CVT feels better tuned than even the one in the Creta. Yes, the Eco Drive mode feels expectedly sluggish, but in normal, responses line up quite well with the revs. It feels rewarding to drive, more so even than Sport mode, which does add some pep at low speeds but then also suffers a severe rubber band effect as you go faster. You might even be tempted to use the paddles to hop through the simulated gears, but really this isn't the engine for driving enthusiastically. That would be the new turbo petrol, which packs in a few pleasant surprises. For one, with 160 horsepower and 253 Newton meters, it has class, leading power and torque. And second, it's claimed to be more fuel efficient than the MPI. And it's a proper manual, not the two-pedal IMT semi-auto, which sources tell us is an admission that enthusiasts prefer 3 pedals. It's smooth and refined, with none of that 3-cylinder thrum of the old 1.0. It doesn't have the gut-punch acceleration of some rivals, but the performance is all there. It comes through in a linear manner. And you'll soon realize you are more than up to speed. It's also fun commanding all this power via a 6-speed manual, which has smooth throws and slick shifts. The only downside is a long pedal travel for the clutch and a high engagement point. Interestingly, the manual version also gets drive modes, which are said to alter throttle response, but it's all but imperceptible. You can feel the difference, of course, in the DCT version, which is the pick of the range. It combines the performance of this engine with the convenience of an automatic and some added features. The DCT gearbox is surprisingly smooth too, making it great for both intercity use and for spirited driving. Spring in the step. Steering has always been one of the barriers to spirited driving in a Hyundai Verna, and unfortunately, that hasn't been completely resolved. The driving modes add weight to the steering, but, again, the effect is minor. It's miles better than the Vernas of old, but still far from the last word in feedback, weight or precision. What it's great at is being light and effortless. So when you're just mooching around town or parallel parking, you'll really appreciate it. Ride quality has seen a marked improvement. While the last generation introduced much greater body control, it came with the side effect of harsh thuds through bumps. This time, they have found a happy balance that's for the driver and the driven. It still errs more towards comfort, with nice soft-edged low-speed bump absorption, but doesn't get unsettled as you go faster and remains composed at expressway speeds. ADAS functions work well, giving you sufficient leeway to intervene before the car does. Audible and visual warnings get your attention and come well before the vehicle acts. All-grown UP. The final piece of the puzzle is the price, and Hyundai has cleverly made sure it's comfortably within the confines set by its rivals, at least for an introductory period. And this is with a strong equipment list that includes the likes of ADAS. It even does well to fill the space left by the Elantra and caters well to the chauffeur-driven. Hyundai even has a target of doubling the previous Verna's sales and overtaking the City to become the king of the segment. The new Turbo DCT is the highlight of the range, even though it's not the furious sports sedan you might be led to believe. What it does is mix performance with accessibility and refinement. And if you are looking for a better deal, there is always the MPI. The new Verna feels like the segment leap Hyundai claimed it would be. It may not be the last word in performance or fuel economy as some rivals are, but frankly it excels in almost every area, with very few standout flaws. And if you are on the side that likes the edgy new look, picking the new Verna as your next sedan seems like no-brainer. Equipment checklist. Touchscreen, 10.25 inches. Digital dials screen, 10.25 inches. Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Available wired. Auto climate control. Available. Auto engine stop or start. Available. Parking camera. Rear. Parking sensors. Available. Connected car tech. Available. Powered driver's seat. Partial. Heated plus cooled front seats. Available. 64 color ambient lighting. Available. Drive modes. Available. ADAS. Available. Wireless phone charger. Available. Airbags. 6 airbags. Hyundai Verna. Price 10.90 lakh up to 17.38. Wheelbase 2670 millimeters. Engine 4CYLS 1497 cc. Petrol or 4CYLS 1482 cc. Turbo petrol. Power 115 horsepower at 6300 rpm or 160 horsepower at 5500 rpm. Torque 143.8 Nm at 4500 rpm or 253 Nm at 1500 to 3500 rpm. Gearbox 6-speed manual or 8-step CVT or 6-speed manual or 7-speed dual-clutch auto. Boot 528 liters. Fuel tank 45 liters. Tire size 205 or 55 R16. Advantages. Long features list times smooth and refined. Drawbacks. No diesel or hybrid option. Not thrilling to drive. Having been overshadowed of late by exciting new rivals, Hyundai's popular midsize sedan is back in a promising new avatar. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you. Bye from SHK.